Good morning, friends, and welcome to our weekly WIP video for April. What is today's date, guys? 17th, I think. So this is my work in progress. I'm hopefully going to get this done today. I believe this is on my size 6. It's whatever the pattern recommended because it's not particularly necessary to be on gauge or whatever. As this will be a donated preemie hat. This is from CC Ullman's top-down preemie hat pattern, which is a free pattern on Ravelry, I believe. But yeah, I'm just using my short tips. And I was actually, sounds like Leo woke up. I was actually further than this on it, and not a whole lot further. I'm about back to where I was. So on Sunday for church, I was working on this and I forgot an increase. So it had increases for, every other row, and they were just 12 stitches per row, basically, for every other row, because I guess some crochet you do that too, but in knitting you increase every other row instead of every row. And there, 1 second, Sona, I'll come get you. Now I lost my thought. There was the increase to the size, and then I thought it was straight down from there, but there was 2 extra stitches that I needed to add, so I had to take everything I did Saturday night, Sunday, back. Well, I guess maybe not from Saturday night, maybe just from Sunday. And anyways, so yeah. And I grabbed this blanket out just because I needed something lighter colored to use as a backdrop here. Yeah, we are on row 20 of 31, I think, before the ribbing. But this is going to be one of the slightly larger sizes because this is the same pattern I've done for a couple other ones. But this one is a larger size because this ball I am trying to use up. I am doing this for the Wool Needles Hands podcast. She has her monthly hat challenge, and this month was to use scrap yarn. Well, most of my scraps are, half a skein or something. They're not tiny scraps or whatever, so this was about the smallest scrap I had for hat yarn. A lot of my smaller bits are actually cotton bits and not acrylic, but since I am doing these hat projects for the Just Run More Row podcast group, I thought I'd just, use this till it's gone, and then if I need to add in a little more color, or if this ball is not gone when I finish this hat, I will put whatever's left of this ball into the next hat and then finish it off in another color. And that way I'll put the 2 hats together for my scrappy project. Then I also will be working on this, which, if you notice, this is the same cotton I used in my low-cal project. So I basically just want to use this ball up. I believe it's Becky, is it your channel, that has the dishcloth going on all year? So I'm just going to basically make a garter dishcloth from the, like corner to corner style, I believe. So I kind of looked at a pattern and got the basic idea, and I'm just going to kind of wing it because, we could always use more washcloths, and I kind of just want to use this up. And I'm just going to use, I think these were 10s. They were the needles from my I'll Be There For You shawl. So I just put them on a shorter cable. And the other project for today will be, this is in my crochet cakes bag. Oh, here. Sorry for the movement. needed a finger. I will be working on this. This is my Apocalypse yarn. It is by Leading Men Fiber Arts, and yeah, it's the Apocalypse colorway. I think I'm going to start with a cuff down sock and try to, because I can knit cuffs. At least I can knit a plain cuff. So I'm going to start that from the cuff down and That way, if I decide that I am still too afraid to do decreases on fingering weight yarn, I can switch to crocheted heels and toes by the time I get to that point. So I might even do an afterthought heel and toe, because that way I can just leave the heel space open and just knit, you know, a big tube basically. And but yeah, it wouldn't be a tube because I'd be leaving the space for it, not cutting it in later. But these are my sock yarn that I have chosen for Crochet Luna's April theme, which is when it rains it pours. I think an apocalypse would be a good symbol of when it rains it pours, right guys? Hey guys, so it's been an interesting, stressful day and not related to anything previous. Just one of those days from hell with, yeah, family. But I have gotten to the cast-off point, but my phone, which is part of drama from earlier, is my husband's old phone, and and the battery needed replaced in that, and they finally called from the repair shop that they had it in, and so I don't have my phone currently. So I thought I'd give you an update since I'm sitting bored in the car. I got to this point of the hat, and oh, that's where I was getting with the phone. I'd look up the surprisingly stretchy bind off again because I can never remember which way is for the knit and which way is for the purl, except for I don't have my phone. So I ended up with this much left. So I think this should be enough to bind off with. I mean, it's not a ton, but it's a couple yards, and I don't think I need a couple yards to bind that off. So at least I'll have that done once I can look up my bind off. I was working on, oh, I lost that bag. I was working on the sock cast on, but I didn't like what I did with it. So I took it off and I cast it on with a crochet hook, which I know that's my one cheating, as I can use knitting or the crochet hooks in my knitting. So we're back to 0 on that because I need my crochet hook to cast on. And since that's all I brought to work on in the car, we've been doing our drop spindle. You haven't seen this guy for a really, really, really long time, so most of you probably have not seen it. So I thought I'd record while I was in the car so you could see. This is my Phoenix spin, and it is, I believe, a merino silk. I don't remember the percentage at all. Well, I guess I have the bag. I don't know what the bag says. But it is this. I don't know if that's even showing up. But yeah. That was what I had. This is my in-car project, so I have this much of it spun. So not a ton. And this is one of my favorite bags. I thought I'd share it, but since it lives in the car, you guys never see it, and it's been holding this project almost the entire time that I've had it. But this is a Silver Shed USA bag. It is one of the designer fabrics, but it was one that she had brought to the Sticks and String show last year, so that is where I had gotten it. But yeah, we still have this much of the first half of our braid, as I had split it to spin, and then I had braided it myself. But that is what I'm working on here in the car while we're waiting for my husband's in actually one of our favorite consignment shop chain things. But I had children that were eating, so I stayed in the car and he went in, which I think they're all done now. But yeah, just thought I'd check in with you guys. Sorry guys for not coming in yesterday to finish things off. What had happened was, there I go being set up. The place we took the phone to get the battery replaced, the battery part went fine, and that looked like it it looked as if things were as good as new. And then I turned it on and tried to hit the home button, and the bottom third of the screen and the home button no longer worked. So a stressful day went into really bad territory, plus the fact that I'm running on 0 emotional reserves. So needless to say, I just was not able to really record anything last night in a good light, so I didn't bother. And then this morning I was still kind of in not the greatest mood, more just burnt out and numb. But then my husband took the phone back in over his lunch today, and they say they got the home button working. We'll see if working means I can work it, because on this particular phone, you pretty much can't close anything, exit anything, or switch apps without that home button. So it's kind of a vital part of the phone, and I can't work the phone without it. So yeah, they still can't get the bottom third of the screen to work, I guess, but they got the home button working. So they are ordering in a new screen, since it is something they broke while trying to fix the phone, because the screen on that phone, they said, was like a $280 repair, which is more than my husband paid for the phone in the first place. And that was only 9 months ago that he got the phone. And yeah, so they will be repairing that for free, thankfully, but it took them a little over a week to get the battery in, which was, you know, another long dramatic story in and of itself. Not on any fault of this place, just the story behind the phone batteries is a dramatic story. But since we had to wait a week for that, we'll have to wait at least a week for this new screen to come in. So I may not have a phone. I may have a phone. I'm not 100% sure. That is why I am not on Zoom right now, and why I probably won't be on Zoom this weekend. We'll just kind of have to see, because again, I need that bottom third of the screen to be able to mute myself. Come to think of it. So yeah, I'm not sure, because I think I can turn it on its side, and maybe my mute button was in a different spot. We'll just have to get my phone back and see. So yeah, I guess that's the update for the end of the weekly WIP for April 17th. I hope if you enjoyed these little weekly vlogs that you will go ahead and subscribe to our channel. We have 199 friends. I really like that terminology that I stole from the Cherry Pie Cottage. So I am getting really excited to hit that 200 mark, and I might have a little surprise going in the next podcast, which I may be recording here later this afternoon, depending on if I can get the energy up, because I'm a little burnt out. But yeah, so if you like these weekly vlogs, please hook the like button and subscribe. Talk to you later, guys.